Howard, where are you with deciding whether this is the final season of Homeland that's coming up?
Well, we have been, I'd say the best way to describe it is we're taking it one season at a time. I mean, right, we had originally thought next year, and was going to be the last, or that was at least as much as Showtime had committed to. But we're really going to see how this season, turns out. I mean, it really is a year-by-year, prospect. And if the story is there and the timing is right and there's willingness, I think people are generally open to the idea. So no one's really committing one way or the other about it, except that we're going to try to do as good a season as we could possibly do and see what happens then.
And is the plan still to go to Israel? And also, what does that mean for shooting?
No, there's no plan necessarily to go to Israel per se, but we have been exploring, at least at the moment, the Israel-Palestine conflict as as at least the something around it, as being where our story takes place. But it doesn't necessarily take place. It's that's just so rough at this point that we don't know yet. We don't really resume the writers' room until August.
Yeah.
Late July, early August. So.
Now, tell me about in this last season. Where was Jake Weber in the second half?
That's such a good question. Well, there's a scene in which Jake, once he's been arrested and he has had his, not only his comeuppance, but also had you see the weight of his reckless broadcasting kind of come back and hit him on the head. So his story, like his place in the story, kind of ended. I think what's interesting about the show is that characters can come in and out and have their stories inside, in a kind of in jazz terms, it's syncopated. Something begins and ends mid-beat, and in that case, the story just kind of ended.
All right, I'll ask about one more character. What about Virgil? We often saw Max and Virgil in the early seasons, and then he just also disappeared.
Yeah, no, I think it's a great. He's out there, and I think it's a great idea for us to maybe. You're giving me a good idea. Maybe we bring him to the writers' room. But Max just became, in some ways, just his sort of his utility to the storyline, and then his relationship with Claire kind of evolved kind of on its own in a way. The two of them, but he's still there, and I think he's still alive, and he's still in the, Homeland universe.
And finally, I'll ask, what's the status of 24? It's always coming back. You're always talking about it coming back again. So.
What's the status?
Yeah.
The status is that we are absolutely actively engaging in kind of redeveloping it along two different tracks, and we're not going to do it unless we sort of get it right. So, but we are doing. I mean, it's not like we're working on it.
Okay.
So I hope that we'll have something to say more concretely soon.
All right. Thanks very much, Howard.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
What important is that?
My 13-year-old watches now for the first time, so I have two older kids, and with the same wife. I always